Okay guys, I want to try and walk through lettering one more time. So I'm going to try and make this tutorial video for you. Hopefully you can hear it okay. My microphone is a little bit farther away than I would have liked it to be. But I've pulled up a page of a comic that I'm working on right now. Um, and so I'm just going to walk through the same steps that I went through in class. Um, So you can see up here at the top, I'm starting with a new text layer or a new layer. First thing I'm going to do is start writing the text. I want to make sure my text is in black, and uh, for the sake of non-confusion, I have it in caps lock on. Okay, so first I'm going to start with first words. Um, Owner. He says owner. Now, in this particular case, there's going to be two bubbles tied together. So I want to actually create a second bubble, so only honor sits by itself. Then I'm going to create a new one, create a second bubble, and let me pull up my script here real quick and read it. All right. So here he says, I will honor my men by removing your heed. Now my character speaks Scottish, so some of the words he uses are a little bit weird, but so now I have the words, and you may not be able to see them very well. So let me zoom in one more time. Has to save that there. All right, that's a little bit easier. Actually, maybe one more. There we go. Now you can see it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to create more of that diamond shape. So I'm just going to start by selecting, hitting enter, and then I'm going to try putting that there, and then say, well, that's still not ideal. So I'm going to move that a little bit and hit backspace. There we go. That looks a little bit more like the diamond shape that I want. So I'm going to go to the move tool and move this kind of over here. I know that I want his tail sort of going in this down and to the left direction. So I'm going to put that right there for now. And then I'm going to grab honor. And I want this to be a little bolder and maybe even a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go up to this tool here. I don't need that one, just this one. And you'll see this dialog box come up at the top of the screen. When you're on the lettering, you'll see a little file folder, or you can go to the window button at the top of the screen in Photoshop and just scroll down to character right here. That will open this box as well. Okay. But then I'm going to come here, I'm going to hit this bold button, and you'll see that it bolds it up a little bit. I'm also going to probably make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now back to the layer that has the next statement on it, this one down here. I also want to emphasize certain words. So on this one, I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to bold that word as well, so that instead of reading, I will honor my men by removing your hate, he says, with more punctuation, I will honor my men by removing your head. And so we just have to decide, which words that you want to emphasize. In this particular case, I'm going to emphasize honor and heed. That's how you say head in Scottish. Heed. Okay, so I'm going to bold that up as well. All right, so this one is now pretty much ready to start my bubble. So I want to create a new layer underneath. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to white. Now we know from practice last week that the other day, that we can create a bubble and then we can add to it. One of the things that I forgot to check on is you see you have different shapes here. You have an ellipse tool and a rectangle tool and a line tool. If you come down here on some versions of Photoshop, you might have a custom shape tool. And then up at the top in the drop down menu, which you cannot see right now, I do apologize, you can see some of it there. You have a big selection of other pre-made shapes. Here we've got some leaves and some puzzle pieces. And what I'm looking for is to see, I think there may be, there we go. This is a pre-made word balloon. So there's some other types of word balloons. There's some thought balloons. So I'm going to experiment with that by clicking on that shape and see how that one looks. And then don't think I have a layer style on it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see how that works. So there you go. You can see this one automatically creates the tail, and it's already going towards his mouth. I kind of want to move that. Now, the downside about this is you'll notice that if you move that, it does, change the tail and everything. But it did save me the time of having to make the tail. And so the only thing I'm missing is the stroke on the outside. But I don't want to do that just yet. I wanted to see how this works. So then I could go back to this ellipse tool. And remember up above to click on combine shapes. Remember when we want to combine shapes, just like when you're using the tail. Whoops. So under, I want to circle this, but I want to connect the two together. So I'm going to go like this. And then once I click those two, I can just go up to the button up top that says combine. And now you can see these two are connected. And then at that point, now that they're connected, I can maybe There we go. I've selected the shape, and I'm just going to go through with a black stroke on it. Just if you guys know what that is, it's basically just outlining. It's not letting me do it. Hold on. There we go. Stroke. We're going to make that 6 to see how that looks. There we go. So there you have it. In this particular case, I just simply grabbed a pre-made bubble and then added a second bubble. And so the most important thing here is making sure that your text is the same size, your text is going to fit. You can see here that I have left a lot of room. There's what we call negative space around the sides. If your word bubble and your lettering and everything is over up against this edge like this, that's called a tangent. We want to try to avoid that. That doesn't look very appealing. So try to keep it right here. All right. So hopefully this video will help with your lettering a little bit. This is just one of many ways. It is not the be-all end-all way of doing it. It's just one way, and for this particular class, it should work. All right. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.